So this is footage for the Resident Evil 4 remake from the recent Resident Evil showcase that took place, I believe, on Friday. It was either Friday or Thursday, one of the two. And we're gonna take a look here and see what the big deal is. So already, there's a number of differences just, without having even seen like the combat and what have you, like the colors are much more profound. They're darker. So it has a more ominous tone to it compared to the original. Graphically, it's been improved tenfold. Well, what do you have to say about any of that?
I agree on those points, and not only that, but yeah, the movement is a lot more smoother too.
Yeah, but it also it looks different from the Resident Evil 2 remake. Like they kept the over the shoulder perspective, but it looks something about it looks more cinematic. So I'm not sure if they must have went for like a different angle as far as the way the camera sits behind the player. So it's similar, but it's not exactly the same.
To check the comparison video with you as well.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Now that added crouch button right there to place an emphasis on stealth, I think that was a very wise addition to the gameplay because it creates for more tense situations. It reminds you that it's definitely a horror game. And the reason I like that is because the original Resident Evil 4 was very much like it was a survival horror game, but it was also a very straightforward action game. And the horror aspect of it wasn't really emphasized. But it seems that they're trying to remind you with this version that yeah, this is a horror game. So yeah, what do you think about the emphasis on stealth here?
Yeah, I agree with you on there too, because you're right. It does make it more tense as well, and like you're seeing those darker areas too. I can see how that's going to play out as well too while you're hiding from enemies.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how much of it we're actually going to see like throughout the entire game. Like how much of the stealth element is really going to be in there. That's what I'm wondering.
Shit.
So yeah, they still have the action in there. So
Yeah,
they had to have that in there. Then I guess some people were wondering if they were going to remove it, but if you can't remove something like that because then it's not Resident Evil 4 anymore. Um, but one thing I was paying attention to when I saw this the first time is Leon. He's the way he moves. As far as like the animations and what have you, it looks very smooth. It looks like they took a lot of time to try and fine tune it to get it exactly right and perfect. It looks
yeah, man.
yeah, it looks very smooth.
Yeah, I noticed that with these remakes, like they've been improving the movement a lot. Like all the animations have just been so on point.
Yeah, it looks and feels like a modern game, and I haven't even played it, so
Kill me for the repairs.
that was interesting. So he took he spun around and fired at the light above the cow, set the cow on fire, and the cow ran into the zombies.
Oh man, now I missed that detail.
Yeah, let me go back on it.
Kill me for the repairs
Oh
later.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that's interesting right there. So not only is the gameplay like extremely cinematic, but the enemies can destroy structures in the environment and block the player's path, like block escape routes.
Yes.
Yeah, which is what he just did just there, and that changes the level design right there on the fly. So
Yeah, they're paying a lot of attention to the little things, which really helped it out.
yeah,
Quick
yeah.
question too. I can't remember, but yeah, I know you're talking about how it looks a lot more cinematic too. Yeah, I noticed there's actually really no hood or anything. Did original have a hood? Because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Have a what now?
Hood.
Oh, a HUD? No. They
Yeah.
showed the HUD.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, right here. Here's your.
Okay. There.
Yeah, here's your HUD. So
Mhm.
yeah, they have to have a HUD in a game like this. Yeah, so I was telling you, like, this looks it reminds me of the chainsaw duels in Gears of War.
Yeah.
In fact, it looks exactly like it. So that's interesting. I'm not sure anyone should try that in real life though. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. So it's not just the same game again. Obviously, it's there are changes that they're making to the original, but they're smart changes. They're not changes just for the sake of changes. And I think that's the whole direction thus far that they're taking. I think it's a very wise direction, personally. Not sure if they have any. Oh yeah, they got some more stuff.
No fucking way.
The Ganados will have all new ways to attack. They are closing in on Leon during his mission and will attack with an even greater variety of methods than in the original release. Leon fights back with firearms, close combat maneuvers, a newly added parry using his knife, and more. Resource management and upgrade elements are critical for
I just
survival.
noticed.
Using his knife and
I just noticed that doing this this parry right here, it breaks your knife.
more.
Yeah, it just snapped. So it's not something you can do consistently. So basically, you have one chance to fuck up, and if you fuck up again, well, you just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resource management and upgrade elements are critical for survival. Just as in the original, using the attaché case effectively will be key. In addition to managing the weapons and items you carry and synthesizing herbs, this also allows you to craft ammunition and other items.
Over here, stranger.
Of course, we can't.
The merchant's voice sounds exactly the same. I wonder if they got the same voice actor or if they got someone who's a really good imitator.
Don't forget the merchant.
Something new for you.
You can purchase weapons and items and customize them to suit your playstyle.
We're starting.
We've also added a trade mechanic where rare gems you've collected can be exchanged for special items.
You can't go wrong with that.
Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, and PC.
Now I'm wondering, because the game is still coming out on last generation hardware, I'm wondering if the game was made for last generation hardware and is just going to be upscaled on the newer platforms, or if it was just, if it's the opposite, if it was made for the newer gen platforms and then it was just downscaled for PS4. I'm not exactly sure. Either way, I'll be getting the PC version, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, and this is coming out March, I think late March.
Too far off, dude.
Yeah, it's not too far off. So yeah, what do you think about the footage and everything and the overall direction?
Yeah, man, this is looking good. I mean, it's not a massive change, which is good. Still looks like Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than Resident Evil 4 too, just looking at the gameplay. Yeah, graphics look pretty great too. Lighting looks better, and like you were saying, original Resident Evil 4, I don't know if this makes sense, but it looked kind of dried out. This one, yeah, a bit more colorful too. And the lighting helps out with that as well.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you too. I don't know how the stealth is gonna play out in this one, even though the gameplay has changed a bit. It looks a bit better and kind of different as well. I don't know how the stealth will still work in this one. It still even be the same as the original Resident Evil 4 bit with the gameplay. But I think we'll just have to wait and see with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, like, the tone is very different from the original game, because the original Resident Evil 4 was it was corny in a lot of areas. The story was not, because the original, it comes from a time when storytelling in video games was still hitting its stride and it wasn't really as emphasized. But now, storytelling within video games is just as important as the gameplay itself. So they're definitely trying to take it more serious and make it a darker game compared to the original. So that's something that I do like, that I can see is going to be an improvement over the original. And then gameplay wise, like with the things that they've added, like the parry systems and the parry system, some more environmental interactions, changes in the way the enemies behave and how they can shift the environment around, which is completely new. That wasn't in the original. I think, these are wise changes and whatnot, wise additions that they're introducing for this remake. And I think the main thing with this that a lot of people are going to be looking at is the length. So like with the Resident Evil 3 remake, one of the major criticisms against the remake, the Resident Evil 3, was the fact that they rushed it. They clearly rushed it because the game was pretty short, and they had removed entire levels. Like they had removed an entire level, like with the clock tower level that was in the original Resident Evil 3. They had completely removed that with the remake. Like you see the clock tower in the background, but you don't ever go to it in the remake. And I think they wanted to avoid making the same mistake here, because this game was actually delayed for over a year. If you pay attention to what was going on behind the scenes at Capcom, because I had made a video about it, definitely over a year ago, I had made a video talking about it. It looks like the extra time has paid off. Now, obviously, we don't know how the full final product is going to turn out. We have to wait until the game actually comes out. But based on what they've shown so far, I'm impressed. It looks great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was the story trailer, which isn't a part of this particular video. They did release a story trailer, so let me see if I can pull that up.
Where are you? Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Graham, are you in here?
Now, another big thing that they absolutely have to improve with this remake is the Ashley character, because to this day, She is one of the worst companion NPCs ever in any video game. I'm not sure if you remember the President's Daughter, gameplay wise, from the original Resident Evil 4, but
Not too much.
yeah, she just stood around and basically was helpless. And if the NPCs grabbed her and you couldn't get to her in time, she couldn't defend herself. They'll walk out of the area and then you'll get a game over and then you gotta start back from the checkpoint. So I hope they, it's not that simple with this new version. I hope they gave her some nuance and made her a bit more self-sufficient and capable.
Just let me go.
Listen. I'm hearing the president's orders and
What is that? What do we do?
what are you doing here?
My faithful disciple will show her the path.
Ashley, run!
The entire world shall overflow with these grains.
What's happening?
That's another thing.
Can't wait to see how that mission takes out.
What, this right here?
The one where you're on the boat.
Oh,
sea creature.
yeah. That was actually a very brief exchange in the original game, so I think they may extend that. I'm really interested to know how they're going to treat this Napoleon character. His name's not Napoleon, but he was pretty much Napoleon in the original game.
Yeah,
That was the
I still remember.
yeah, that was the goofiest character in Resident Evil 4, Ramon Salazar. So I think they definitely need to. He has to be in there because he's one of the main villains from the original, but they can't do what they did in the original and expect people to take it serious. I'm not sure how they're going to change his character, but it sounds like he's going to be very similar to the original. Hopefully they'll give him some better dialogue, and there won't be any lines like bro or anything coming from Leon. So hopefully they don't do that. If they're going to make a darker game, make a darker game. Don't make a joke, because then you're going to lose me. So
Yeah, definitely judging from this trailer, though, it looks like they're gonna steer clear from that completely.
yeah, and treat the source material more seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overflow with these grains.
What's happening to me?
Now, abandon your body.
Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what.
Now that he has chosen death.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, she is holding a gun right there, so that gives me
Let's
hope.
hope it's just not for a cutscene only, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that does give me hope though. Again, it's looking fantastic. March the 24th.
Yeah, it is looking good.
Yeah, have to see how it turns out. The Dead Space remake that's looking pretty good too.
I didn't see the trailer for that one.
Oh, they've been showing like full on gameplay for that. Yeah, I could pull that up too. Hold on.
Anything else major happened?
Well, we'll talk about it.